So when we talk about the Sabbath day and how that works and how Jesus had a conflict with the Jewish establishment of the day, I have mentioned a few portions already, but I want to point to it again, just a short recap. So Luke 14:5, Jesus answered them saying, which of you will have a donkey or an ox fallen into a pit and will not straightway pull him up on the Sabbath day? So even on the Sabbath day, you will save an animal from dying. Common sense and an appeal to their own actions. And it shows how hypocritical they were about him healing a man on a Sabbath day. And healing a person was not more wrong than saving an animal. I mean, you're working hard pulling that animal out, so what is this about? It was a fulfillment of what actually the day was about, because the idea of God about the Sabbath was that it would be a day when life is given, where you are connecting with me and you have this fellowship, and that gives you life. So Matthew 12:12, how much then is a man better than a sheep? Wherefore it is lawful to do well on Sabbath days, said Jesus. So similarly, in John 9, the man born blind, he made clay, anointed the eyes, and the Pharisees were not like rejoicing, but they were outraged. They were accusing him in John 9:16. I mentioned this a few days back, and they said, this man is not from God because he does not keep the Sabbath. And what spiritual blindness? Think about it. They could not anymore make a difference between their own traditions and the law of God. They meshed the two together because they diminished the law of God to the level of their own traditions, and they lifted their traditions to the level of the holiness of the law of God. And it's and if the word of God conflicted with their ideas, then their ideas won out. That's how it functions, sadly. And I'm mentioning this because we need to watch for this. You as a believer must not make the holy common. Please don't do that. Don't, if there's a man of God in your life who is helping you, who is leading you, do not make that a common relationship. If you have a church, a Bible-believing, God-loving, grace-oriented church, do not say in your heart, it's just a church, it's like a club or something, it's my Christian club. Don't say that. It's a different story. You have a Bible, that's amazing. You have the Word and thought of God. It's not like any other book, regardless of how well someone writes. This is amazing. It's a different story. Keep that holy in your heart and do not diminish it. Matthew 4:4 we mentioned yesterday, but make it recognize its specialness and those things, the holy things in your life, and keep them holy in your heart. So they looked at their own rules and that healing, that making clay, they said the glorious work of God was going on in front of them, and they missed it. They just didn't see it as glorious. They said, oh, this is disgusting. And that's amazing. Jesus wasn't breaking the law of God. He was breaking their burdensome, life-crushing fence that they built around the law. And he said, no, this is a day of rest, worship, and doing good, and this is how we're going to do it. And just by the way, Jesus also said, and I love this is Matthew 12:8, for the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath day. He said, look, if I actually want to break the Sabbath, I can actually do that. Not so much break, override, because I am above the Sabbath. Well, basically, that's another verse where Jesus is saying he's God. I am over the Sabbath. And that's just how it is, because I have given you the Sabbath. So I'm Lord of the Sabbath. So if I wanted to, I'm the creator of the universe, John 1:3. The Sabbath is something that I created also. So, it's really what I can do if I want to. So just good base for a good meditation, I think. God bless your day.